Nightmare Files has a new one called Disturbing Photos from Around the Internet. So look, I've seen examples or similar type photos. They usually have horrifying backstories, and they usually involve like someone taking a picture of themselves right before something terrible happens. Like there'll be a murderer in the background that they didn't see, and the cops recover the camera or the phone or whatever and see these images, and they go public after a little while. At any rate, guys, this is gonna be pretty cool. Again, it's from Nightmare Files. Let's get into this reaction.
While there are many dangers of hiking, as in bad weather,
hiking,
getting lost in remote areas, depending on your GPS and not knowing the areas, crossing water, being fatigued, and for me, the threat of territorial animals can be the biggest threat. But without those obstacles,
freaking snakes,
the experience can be euphoric and relaxing.
Snakes are bad
but for
news.
Darsh Patel, it was tragic.
In
2014,
we got him.
Darsh Patel,
a
22-year-old student of Rutgers University, went hiking in an Abshaba preserve in New Jersey with 4 of his friends.
All right.
While exploring the 576-acre natural area.
That's a pretty big place.
The group came across a black bear. They stopped and took pictures of the 300-pound beast.
You're not supposed to do nothing. You're supposed to remain calm around these things.
The group started to walk away, but the bear had noticed them. And it started walking towards them.
Oh, that's not good.
Frightened by the approaching bear,
they ran?
Split up and ran in different directions.
They splat. Well,
but the bear kept chasing them. When the 4 of them regrouped,
you can't outrun a bear.
They noticed that Patel was missing, so they called the police.
He got mauled, dude.
Upon arrival, the police searched the area, and after 2 hours, they discovered Patel's body.
I never even thought about bears because I'm Southern boy, you know?
And was shot dead by one of the officers.
God.
An autopsy of the bear revealed that it ingested human blood and tissue along with
Of course.
And it also
mauled
had human blood on his paws.
Oh.
A few weeks later, the police released 6 photos that Patel had taken on his phone. The photos show of the bear approaching closer and closer.
Oh my God, can you imagine, dude?
It eventually chased him and mauled him as he was trying to run away.
That's so...
It is said that if you encounter a black bear,
you gotta chill out.
Calm, avoid direct eye contact.
Yep.
Make the bear aware that you are not afraid by making loud noises and speaking assertively.
Right.
And to make sure that the bear has an obvious escape route, so it doesn't feel as if... You
gotta make it feel uncomfortable and not threatened. There's a big difference, you know? Kind of, you know, the fight or flight kicks in. Imagine somebody at a checkout counter that's just mad, stark raving mad, and a threat to everybody around him. Adrenaline might take over and you might tackle that son of a gun. But if they just being obnoxious and weird, normally people just tend to kind of avoid them. You know what I mean? No threat posed, just, that's how you treat a bear. Like a crazy customer at Walmart. And they so cute, man. Bears are gorgeous in the wild, you know? It's like you don't hear much about it, but deer too. A deer with horns?
On June 23rd, 2018,
mangle you, man.
12 members of a junior football team and their 25-year-old assistant coach went on a trip to a cave in Thailand.
Okay, caves are
Shortly
awesome.
after they entered the cave, heavy rains partially flooded the cave and blocked the way out. Strong currents and rising water levels hampered efforts to locate the group.
Wow.
And they had no contact with the outside world for a week. Actually over a week. Eventually rescue operations began and involved a massive team consisting of over 10,000 people. More than 100 divers, 900 police officers, scores of rescue workers, 2,000 soldiers, and representatives of around 100 government agencies were involved.
That's a huge
Soon after rescue operations started, maintaining air supply became the #1 priority.
Yeah.
Hundreds of rescue workers were present inside the cave, which depleted oxygen inside the chambers down to 15%. In the air, the normal oxygen level tends to be around 21%.
Right.
That is why divers had to make several trips in and out of the cave to supply oxygen tanks.
Yep.
This is the last photo of Thai diver Saman Kunan, who died while performing rescue operations in the cave in 2018. While supplying oxygen tanks to the group trapped inside the cave, Kunan lost consciousness underwater and died of asphyxiation.
It's so terrible. People that are trying to save other people have to put their lives on the line, man. I mean, they probably weren't doing anything bad, but this reminds me of people that, like, in the storms, that just don't listen to evacuation notices and just do dumb stuff like they state, you know? And then they want to call somebody when there's no hope. You know what I mean? That if they don't get rescued, they'll die. Just puts
David
other people's
Alexander Johnson,
life in danger. You
an
know?
American volcanologist, was the principal scientist on the United States Geological Survey monitoring team.
Okay.
His career took him all over the United States, where he studied various volcanoes.
Volcanoes are
As a
pretty
talented and
cool. I wouldn't do
meticulous
it, but-
scientist, Johnston was known for his analysis of volcanic gases and their
Right.
relationships to eruptions.
Okay.
His positive attitude and enthusiasm made his coworkers love and respect him.
That's cool.
Johnston once famously told reporters that being on Mount St. Helens was akin to standing next to a dynamite keg and the fuse is lit.
Yeah.
He was also one of the first volcanologists
It's
to
like
arrive at
an
the scene
adrenaline
when
rush,
signs
right?
of eruption first appeared.
Like
Shortly
storm
after his
chasers.
arrival, he was made the head of volcanic gas monitoring.
Okay.
In the months leading up to the eruption,
Quite good on
Johnston
his
and
career.
co-workers saved thousands of lives by preventing people from going near the volcano. They sealed off the area despite facing tremendous pressure to reopen it.
Right.
A number of the USGS scientists were part of the team that monitored the volcano. For over 2 weeks before the eruption, graduate student Harry Glicken was manning the Cold Water 2 observation post, and he was supposed to be relieved by a geologist named Don Swanson the evening before the eruption. However, for some reason, Swanson could not make it and asked Johnston to take his place, and he agreed. While manning the cold water post, Johnston's main role was to observe the volcano and note further signs of an eruption. Before leaving the post on May 17th, around 13 hours before the eruption, Harry Glickman took the famous photograph that we see here. Johnston was sitting beside the
Oh, I've
observation
seen
post
that
tray
photo before.
with his notebook smiling.
Yeah.
The next morning, on May 18th, around 8:32 a.m., the volcano erupted. Johnston was the first person to report the
Man.
eruption,
Yeah.
and he was able to make one last radio transmission saying,
Wow.
"Vancouver, Vancouver, this is it," before being swept away by a lateral blast.
Wow.
This is the last photo of David Johnston, taken 13 hours.
I've
before the
heard
eruption
they're
of Mount St. Helens.
so destructive.
His last words, as we said, was "Vancouver, Vancouver, this is it," before going silent.
Yeah.
His body was never found.
Like everybody thinks a volcano's lava, right? Of course, lava. But think about this. The ash, just the soot, the plume, the gases, like the quake involved,
As
maybe.
we all know,
It's
Niagara Falls
seismic
is a tourist
activity.
attraction known all
Nuts,
around the
man.
world. It also had its fair share of deaths, from Sam Patch in 1829,
Right.
Ed Delahanty in 1903, Charles Stevens in 1920,
Sea in general
George
is dangerous,
Takis
man.
in 1930, William Hill in 1951, James
Wow.
Honeycutt in 1960, Hashan Sehi in 1981, Jesse Sharp in 1990,
Okay.
Robert Overacker in 1995, and the woman we'll be talking about today, Ayano Takumasu. In 2011, authorities recovered the body of a woman from the Niagara River.
Right.
She was later identified as Ayano Takumasu, a 20-year-old international student from Japan. While visiting Niagara Falls with friends, Takumasu climbed over a railing to pose for a picture.
Okay.
She was straddling the railing to look at the falls, and when she stood up, she lost her footing and fell into the river,
Bruh.
25 meters upstream from the brink of the falls.
When I was a kid, I would
Moments
do
before the
dumb
tragic
stuff on
incident
rails
occurred,
like that.
An Ontario-based couple was also
You know?
taking pictures of themselves, and they captured what is thought to be the final moments of
Oh
Takumasu.
no.
In the photo, she could be seen in the background.
See how he's standing
She's
up
wearing a
like
red
that?
sweater and
I
appears
would
to
do
be
stuff
standing
like
on
that all the
top of
time,
rock
bruh.
area. The picture does not show whether she's standing on the railing or not. This incident was also captured on CCTV along
she's
with the recovery
standing
of a
up,
body
though.
on camera.
That's where she fell. Bruh, I remember at the zoo standing up next to the railing, like with my feet on the first rail and my knees up against the top rail. My mom and daddy would fuss and whip me, bruh. It's crazy that I used to do stuff like that. People don't think, man,
August
what
20th,
happens if you fall in?
Lau and Eric Menendez walked into the den of their parents' Beverly Hills home with a Mossberg 12-gauge shotgun.
Oh my gosh.
Jose and Kitty Menendez were sitting on a couch. Then Jose was shot. Awakened by the shots, Kitty Menendez got up from the couch and ran toward
Just
the hallway.
in their house?
She was shot in the leg, which caused her to slip on her own blood and fall.
Oh my God.
She was then shot several more times. Both the parents were also shot in the kneecaps to make it look like they had been murdered in connection with an organized crime.
Huh.
Later that night, Lyle Menendez called 911 and screamed, "Someone killed my parents."
Oh,
When
he
the police
killed his
arrived,
own family.
The brothers told them that they had gone to the movies and then to the festival at the Santa Monica Civic Auditorium. The police did not suspect them, and they never asked them to go through a gunshot residue test to find out if they had used the firearm recently. Since there was little evidence against the brothers, the police failed to look more thoroughly into them.
How come they killed him?
In the months following the murders, the brothers began spending their parents' insurance money lavishly. Lyle bought a Porsche, a Rolex watch, and a restaurant.
Wow.
His brother Eric hired a full-time tennis coach and participated in a number of tournaments in Israel. Eventually, they left the family mansion and decided to live in condos in Marina del Rey. They drove around the town in their dead mother's Mercedes-Benz.
Can you imagine?
Went on several trips overseas and dined in expensive restaurants. Experts say that they spent around $700,000 in the time between the murders and their arrest.
Wow.
At one point, the brothers had attended a basketball game.
I'm glad they got caught.
They are believed to be in the background of the 1990-91 NBA trading card of basketball player Mark Jackson.
Can you imagine, dude? What kind of a person can do that? Kill their family and just live on their money. Did they have a bad relationship with them? Were they abusive? That's the only thing you can think of. And either that or the kids were just psychopaths. You know? I don't know what to think, bro. Jeez. You know, you gotta think, people, they motivated by a lot of different things, man. Fear is a big motivator. You know, that's why the people in the first story ran from the bear, you know. But things like this, maybe I can't understand because I'm not crazy, you know. I'm not criminally insane. I have or evil. Oh my God. This was pretty cool though, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed it too. Make sure to hit up Nightmare Files, guys. Awesome content creator, as well as a couple other Nightmare Files reactions that I've done. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off. We'll see you next time.